Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Devils You Know History and Trivia. New Jersey Devils history, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Pardon my language. But, I had no audio behind me on the episode that I did the first time. So, this is a second pilot to see how it goes, to see if the volume behind me now is too loud, because it was so low that there was no sound behind me at all last time. So anyway, we're gonna start with a little trivia. So in 2003, the 2003 not the 2003 entry draft, I'm sorry. On March 19th, 2002, the Devils acquired Stéphane Richer. Now, Stéphane Richer, of course, is a huge, everyone knows Stéphane Richer from the Devils' earlier days and Stanley Cup in 95. And he came over to the Devils from Montreal with Tom Chorsky over Kirk Muller because Kirk Muller was, having contract disputes here, this and that and this, whatever, you know. So, which team did he come from? Can you guess? The Pittsburgh Penguins. Yeah, it was an odd trade. He never played for the Penguins, Stéphane Richer. Played for the Tampa Bay Lightning, St. Louis Blues. There is another Stéphane Richer who played for the Panthers. I have his card, and I like to trick people with that every once in a while. But what's funny is, Tom Chorsky came over to the Devils in '91, right before the season, for I think goalie Roland Melton and Kirk Muller, and then Richer was traded back to the Canadiens in '96 for Lyle Oderline. So the Devils got Lyle Oderline back in '96. After the '96 season, which was the season after they won their first cup, and they didn't make the playoffs. There were not many seasons the Devils didn't make the playoffs between 1988 and 2012. Let's just say there was about 3 seasons the Devils might have missed the playoffs in that whole time. Detroit being the only other team that missed the playoffs less than the Devils in that time. But way after that time, another former Devil from 1995. Speaking of former Devils, not former, former Devils from 1995 and from his whole career, Ken Daneyko. I'll be interviewing Mr. Devil, Ken Daneyko. Gonna get the date set with him. Right now it is Saturday, so I'm looking at a Monday, Tuesday, sometime during this week, recording of the interview, and then it'll be up and ready. There'll be a video. There'll be a couple of extras that will, be behind the paywall with him. And if you have any questions for Ken Daneyko, leave them in the comments below, and I will make sure. If you want your name attached to it, put your name, and I will ask any questions. Of course, I'm not going to ask him something that's not hockey related. But if you have a question for Dano, I will absolutely entertain any question you have. Just put it below. I'll read it. I'll put it down, and I'll keep it in my notes. Anyway, a former Devil from then, Brian Rolston, came back to the Devils. Lou Lamoriello was notorious for bringing people back. Brian Rolston came back, and on January 11, 2009, he recorded his 100th regular season assist for the Devils during a 4-3 loss against the Ducks at the Honda Center. Who the fuck wants to lose to the Ducks at the Honda Center? But that's when the Ducks were actually almost unstoppable. On November 10th, 2008, a year earlier, former Red Wing, but former Devil who wore number 8, Igor Larionov, was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto. He played his final season with the Devils in 2003-2004. Can you name some other Devils players that ended their career with the Devils? I'll give you two right off the top of my head. Brendan Shanahan and Alexander Mogilny. I'll also give you, obviously, Scott Stevens. Who do you got? Let me know in the comments below. Which player scored a goal in each of the first 3 regular season games in New Jersey Devils history in 82-83? All right, so let me read that again. Which player scored a goal in each of the first 3 regular season games in Devils history? So, game 1, game 2, game 3, Rangers, Pittsburgh, whatever. One guy scored in all 3 games, and I love the name. I never say it right, his last name, but it's really not even hard to say. I just get it. I don't know. But his first name was Merlin. What a name for a hockey player. The Wizard, Merlin the Wizard. Merlin Malinowski scored in the first game, the second game, and the third game. And I want to talk. Actually, I'm gonna put that one aside. I want to talk to Ken Danico about Merlin. Ask him some things about that. Another 2009 thing. Did you did you know? First of all, you remember Mark Denis, the goalie from Columbus? He was good. Whatever happened to him? But whatever. On July 10th, 2009, the Devils signed free agent goaltender Jan Denis. YANNDANIS. But yeah. Remember Jim Carrey, the Capitals? Guy was an all-star and then disappeared. Who was the first Devils player to score 2 or more points in an NHL All-Star game? I mean, that one might be hard for newer fans, but the answer is Joe Cirella. He was in the 1984 All-Star game. He had a goal and an assist, I believe. That doesn't say it here. But we're gonna stick with 2009. On March 12, 2009, Jamie Langenbrunner, captain of the Devils at the time, recorded his 300th career point with the Devils during a 5-2 victory against the Phoenix Coyotes over at the Prudential Center. He reached the mark with an assist on Zach Parisi's goal 18 seconds into the first period, which you think might be a record for fastest goal in Devils history, but it's not. Do you know who holds that, Mogilny? Who was the first general manager in New Jersey Devils team history? Billy McMillan. Billy McMillan. On March 18th, 2009, center John Madden. By the way, as you're listening to this, my article is out now about the Hughes brothers, and I talk about John Madden in that article. I have a very controversial article about losing the Hughes brothers, what the Devils could do by moving them out, and in the article, of course, it goes into what if you just got rid of one of them, but having both isn't getting them anywhere is the point of the article. Please read it, check it out, leave a comment below it. It's really important that people read this and really, really take in what I'm trying to say, because I'm not trying to cause a problem. I'm not trying to be a dick. It's just the facts. The Devils aren't known for catering to the names on the back of the jerseys, and a lot of fans are tired of it. So anyway, John Madden appeared in his 700th game on March 18, 2009. His 700th regular season career, blah, blah, blah. All with the Devils before he played. He played with the Panthers and blah, blah. And a 4-2 loss at the RBC Center against Carolina. This is a good trivia question. Which 2 players did the Devils acquire from the Maple Leafs in exchange for Jason Smith, Steve Sullivan, and the rights to Alan McCauley, if anyone remembers who that is, on February 25th, 97? 97. -4. No, that doesn't make sense. Well, they acquired Dave Ellett, and they acquired Dougie Gilmour, one of my favorite players other than Mogilny that wasn't a Devil. Well, Mogilny was a Devil, and so was Gilmour, but they were 2 of my favorite players before they were Devils. And who knows? We might hear from Doug Gilmour right here on the Devils You Know very soon. You never know what could happen here on the Devils You Know. You never know. You never No. I'm going to leave you with the fact and get the fuck out of here because you don't want to hear too much of me. You're already tired of it, but on November 23rd, 2008, the Devils took a 5-0 lead en route to a 7-3 victory against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And Tampa Bay was good at the time at the St. Pete Times Forum. It was the first time the Devils scored the first 5 goals in a road game since a 5-1 win against, ironically, the Florida Panthers at Bank Atlantic Center on November 23rd, 2005. So, actually, I'll end with the Stanley Cup champion trivia question. Which player scored his 500th career regular season goal while playing for the New Jersey Devils on January 17th, 2003? And I remember this one so vividly. It was a guy who got hurt in the playoffs and didn't get to play in the finals to, they won the Stanley Cup, and hey, the Devils might have lost the Stanley Cup if this guy played. If the whole roster was different with this guy in the lineup, things might have been different. The Devils could have lost. Who knows? I mean, they had 3 home shutouts, which, should have brought Brodeur the Conn Smythe Trophy. Sorry, Jaguar. We were in the building, and, not booing because Jaguar didn't do a good job, booing because we were at home. Brodeur had 3 shutouts in the finals. He deserved it. But the answer is Joey Nieuwendyk, which he came over with Jamie Langenbrunner, of course, as you know, as I know at least. Now you know, from the Dallas Stars. And yeah, so that's it. Thanks for listening to the Devils You Know history and trivia of the New Jersey Devils. If you have any requests or any questions, leave them in the comments below, and make sure you check out that article about the Hughes brothers. You might hate me for it. You might agree with me. Please give it a chance. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.